What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, we have some new information post-Tennocon on one of the new updates coming out later this year. We'll be talking specifically about the VEILBREAKER update, which is slated to be coming out before the Deviri Paradox. So I'm guessing like late summer, like early fall-ish is when the VEILBREAKER's coming out. And we actually have an interview from Rebecca that was actually done after Tennocon, detailing what's going on in this VEILBREAKER update. And it actually sounds very, very interesting and like good ideas. We're working smart, not hard, on making content that will potentially last us multiple months. And it's looking really, really nice. So before we get into it, make sure you're subbed to the channel and all that. Make sure to the live channel as well. I'm going to also play the VEILBREAKER trailer so we can talk about some of the stuff and give context of the stuff we're talking about. So if you've already seen the trailer for VEILBREAKER, it's like 90 seconds long, so you can watch it anyway. But if you want to skip ahead, go for it. We're going to start her up right now. All right. So this is going to be, this was shown at Tennocon. We have a post-launch interview we'll be going over. So, also, I watch all videos at double speed, so I should probably not do that to you guys. Okay, much more thematic if you just take it all in 1 second at a time, not 2 seconds at a time. So, we got Call right here from the new war. He actually, I didn't realize he didn't die. He became a Narmer, and he just knocked off his Narmer mask. So, the setup for this update will be playing as Call. You will not be playing as Call all the time in these missions. And as you can see, the Archons in the new war have returned. That's going to be a big focus of this update is Archons returning and new endgame situations with these Archons. We're gonna go over what was stated in the interview verbatim, but yeah, as you can see right here, this is clearly you playing as Call right here, throwing a grenade at the Thumper. Like Thumper, it looks like it's like a Narmer Thumper, mind controlled by the Narmer, and this will not be the main gameplay loop though. There will definitely be some missions as Call, but it seems like it's going to be like a weekly thing. And then there's going to be a new Archon as well. So these Archons, guys, get used to looking at these because this is going to be the new end game loop in this game. And specifically, see that crystal? So Era was resurrected as a Archon, it seems like. See that crystal in Era's head? That's going to be a resource that we're using for a new end game type of loot. Okay, so new Era assassination boss fight. Unknown release date, but let's get into that interview. We're going to talk about what's happening in this. All right, so as far as what VEILBREAKER is, it's going to be pretty much like trying to make something that's end game for Warframe. Make a system that we can, something you can come back to every week. Also making it where the game is more difficult. This is going to be post new war content, and it will be balanced accordingly. They're expecting you to have basically, if you are able to beat Zariman intro quest, which they nerfed down twice, but whatever. If you have a Necromech, you got Zariman, you did all this stuff, that's when you can actually start getting access to this new VEILBREAKER mission. And we're going to go over her interview really quick. I don't have... I'm going to just go over some screenshots people posted of it because I don't have access to the website. But I will post the full article in the description down below if you guys want to read that, okay? So let's start off right now with what's going on with VEILBREAKER according to Rebecca. Remember, she is now the creative director of Warframe, so what she says goes in this game. Okay, so the interviewer asked, will the Archons be on their own individual planets or missions? And Rebecca responded, we're actually doing another tier of sorties. What we're going to do is bring back the Archons for a weekly content type of sorties. Week 1 will be Amar. Nero will be the next week, and you'll have all week to take them down in their weekly sortie, which will be their designated area. In addition, you're going to be matched with other players that are in the same difficulty tier to actually engage in Archon content. So, this sortie right here, we've been asking for Steel Path sorties for who knows how long. There's to be a new type of sortie. I'm guessing the button will just be right next to it, or like it'll be like a little multiplier you put down here. New sorties that are going to be a week long. So a week-long quest to kill the Archon. So just for example, let's say, I think one of the Archons took over Jupiter during the New War quest. So just to put this in perspective, what it would be like. This ship would be lit up red, and Jupiter would be under attack by the Sentients. The Sentient Archon, whichever, Amar, Nira, whichever one it is. So what you'd do is you'd log in, and once you've beaten the VEILBREAKER quest, you'd start working on your sortie. There'd be multiple missions all culminating at the end of when you complete all this stuff, you will go fight the actual Archon itself and rip out its head crystal if you can actually beat it, and that will be fed into new types of loot, which we'll go over further in this interview. So already off the bat, they're designing it to be, long-term content with difficulty in mind. So moving on from that, and it'll be weekly, so it's not gonna be like the same kind of thing you have for the sortie right now. It's definitely gonna be a tier above the sortie. Rebecca also stated, we're not sure how hard we're going to make it because there are so many ways in Warframe to make it a very easy game. So we're still trying to figure out those fights at a 4-player Warframe level because you saw in the new war that the first 2 Archons were slow drifter combat and the third one got insta-killed by Garuda's 4. I mean, steamrolled like the third one. When we bring 4 Warframes into a fight with an Archon, we have a lot of rebalancing and work to do, but we're making it a multiplayer, closer to endgame system with Archons. So they know that the Archons were a complete joke during the new war when you got in your frame. So they're designing it around a 4-player, not raid encounter, but I guess the end of a mission, like strike boss or like dungeon boss kind of thing, where I'm guessing they're gonna be health gated. They might have some mechanics even, but they'll definitely have some of the attacks they had in the new war as well. So they're trying to make this like an end game kind of situation, which I appreciate. Moving on, Archons are rebalanced to fight the Warframes. Are these new Archon fights going to be tied into acquiring blueprints and components for Cyanex, the 50th Warframe, coming to the game soon? And Rebecca said, they're not right now. I don't think so. We're going to be doing something special with the first couple weeks with the 50th Warframes available. And after that, I think we're actually going to putting it on a playable call thing, but we're still deciding. Wait, what? And after that, I think we're actually putting it on a playable call. Okay. To be honest, unless there's a good reason to tie it with content, we usually make the decision a bit later in the game. Like, obviously, quest Warframes have to come with the quest, but I think we're just going to be a little unsure if people are going to want to play call missions to get a Warframe. But right now, that's currently what we're thinking. Okay, so Cyanex will not come from the Archon fights, it'll come from somewhere else. They don't want to force you to play call to get Cyanex. If they're not dropping Warframe parts, what can you expect in terms of rewards for the Archons? This is the new thing we're talking about here. We have a whole new reward system coming. Let's just say the Archon crystals that fuse to the head are a source of power for many things, including you. We have something very fun on the way. So basically like Arcane's 2.0, Riven's 2.0, we will see what ends up happening. Interesting. So we're going to be using the Archon's actual crystals to do something unknown. And as far as some more post-New War content, they're saying, yes, everything after the New War is going to be getting balanced to be more difficult as you have gone through a lot of stuff to get to this point. After the New War, any content that's planned after that is going to be more challenging by design. So that's good. Maybe we won't have any, nerfing down the intro quest for Zeramon twice in a week, or we won't have self-damage getting removed, or whatever. We'll see, because AOE is supposed to get nerfed too. If they nerf AOE and make the game harder overall, it might actually feel like a video game, not just a spam rocket to the wall simulator like it currently is right now. But that's basically it for the interview. Also, Framefighter is bad, according to Rebecca. They said, "Can you expect any Framefighter update?" And she said, "This is probably sad. You can probably see in the mirror we have our Framefighter arcade cabinet. We're not really doing anything with it right now. Sorry." So yeah, Framefighter is like a Flash game basically. So going over what you can generally expect from this update that was going to be most likely in a month or two before the Deviri Paradox, before winter of this year. So there's going to be some type of call mission, and there's going to be a weekly new endgame sortie tier where it's going to be pretty much a war against an Archon that's attacking a planet. There will be multiple different types of missions. Not sure exactly how that's going to work because we only have limited information. But like my example earlier, let's say Jupiter's under attack by the Archon. I've got to go do some really high level, maybe even a sentient exterminate, or sentient survival. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but do a mission here. Maybe on Tuesday, that's on Monday. On Tuesday, the Archon's attacking this planet right here. That this ship is lit up. You do some missions here. And I'm not sure if it will be time gated that you have to do the entire week of playing to kill it. But I'm guessing you'll be able to kill it in 3 days. If you're required to sign in every single day, that would be a bit unrealistic for most people. Besides the most diehard of players or people that just have a lot of time. So Yeah, and then once you kill those Archons, what you can expect is you can expect new types of loot. That is going to be a new system, hopefully some kind of RNG in there, so it's not just one and done. And these Archons will rotate weekly. So since there will be 4 Archons, they're adding the new Archon. That is a month of, well, because of time gating, that's a 4-week period, a month, of different end game sorties. And then, like, you go into the next month, it rotated again. Maybe you missed the Jupiter Archon last month. Now you can finally play the Jupiter Archon this month. So it's a cool idea. I want to see. We don't have that much information on it. I think it's interesting, and I think it's a good type. This is the type of update they should be designing. Like I said earlier, designing smart updates, not like just big updates. If you make an update like this, where it's a month of, mostly probably waiting, unfortunately, but like 4 interesting like missions that are designed around difficulty and not being cheesed instantly, it can be a rewarding feeling. And if you get some good gear at the end, even better. It's like, wow, that was worth grinding up to MR20 for, to get my my really powerful weapons, my powerful Warframes and stuff. Now I can go do this endgame sortie against this Archon boss. It looks pretty awesome. And I got some good stuff out of it. I was challenged along the way. Really good stuff. So I hope that it is honestly just like knocked out of the park. Especially since the other update we got for this year is going to be pretty much an Elden Ring DLC. So as far as a Warframe update, this is looking pretty good. And I will see you guys later. I really appreciate it. Korra Prime video coming out tomorrow or the next day. I've got some really interesting builds I've been putting together for Korra. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. So I'll see you guys next time. Let me know how you feel about this update down below. Like I said earlier, I think it is a really good idea. I just want to see like how it goes. Like, why is this a weekly quest to do this Archon? Like, why is it weekly? Does it just rotate weekly and it only takes you like a day to do it yourself? We'll have to see. And I'll link the description, the article down below. All right, take it easy, guys. Peace.